Regardless of how often you're paid, whether it's weekly or biweekly or whatever, I recommend every single budget month you start with a budgeting calendar. So this is just any calendar. You can do it on a planner, you can do it just on a paper plan, calendar, any kind of calendar, and you just want to mark what days your bills are due on that calendar. I also mark anything that I have to spend money for. So if I have a doctor's appointment, I have a copay, I have a medication I have to have refilled. I put that on here. Thanksgiving, that costs me money. My birthday, I usually spend something for that. So anything that costs me money, I want to put on this calendar. And then I want to go in and mark my paydays. So in this example, we're paid weekly. So we're going to mark our paydays weekly here. Also, because this example, you're paid weekly, I would take 1/4 of my rent out of each of my paychecks. That way, at the end of the month, I have my full rent for the next month, even if that payday is after the first. So I'm going to add 1/4 rent here. I recommend, again, doing something like this no matter what. For me, I take 1/2 of my rent out of my last paycheck of the month so that I don't have to like break the bank pulling all of my rent out of one paycheck. So this is going to be your rent or your house payment. You can do this with your car payment, any big bill that you have that tends to like take up most of your paycheck. I recommend breaking it up into multiple paydays if you can. So once you've done that, then you're going to then plan out what bills you're going to pay with what paycheck. So because the first paycheck of this month is on the 4th, we're going to assume that you already took care of rent because that was due on the 1st. So when you get paid on the 3rd, we're going to identify everything we're going to pay out of that check. So we're going to pay 1/4 rent, and then we're going to pay every bill that is due between this paycheck and this paycheck. But also because there's only two bills due out of that, I'm going to take half of that and I'm going to pay half of these other bills that tend to be a little bit bigger, and so that they don't break the bank in my next payday. So then do the same thing for the second paycheck. So 1/4 rent, and then any bills that are due between this payday and this payday, as well as the other half of these bills. This is really where that bill pay account comes in handy because you're able to move this money into that account so you don't accidentally spend it. And then you just want to go through all of your paydays for the month and do the exact same thing. Identify what bills you're going to pay out of that paycheck and highlight them. And then move that money into a bill pay account. At the end of the month, you should have your rent for the next month, and you'll just repeat this every single month. Hopefully, that was helpful.